Live from London, this is BBC News. The Scottish Government is set to ditch a flagship target to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We'll be live at Holyrood for the announcement. The Conservative MP Mark Menzies is suspended from the party after being accused of misusing campaign funds, claims he disputes. The government says an investigation is underway. The verdicts in the inquests of 48 people who died in a nightclub fire in Dublin more than 40 years ago are due shortly. And Prince William is given get well soon cards for his wife as he makes his first appearance since Catherine announced her cancer diagnosis. Hello, I'm Nicky Schiller. Welcome to the programme. In the next hour, the Scottish Government is expected to confirm it's ditching its flagship climate change target of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 75% by 2030. The BBC understands that the government's annual climate targets could also be scrapped, but the final goal of reaching net zero by 2045 will remain. Now, as I say, we will be live in Holyrood for the emissions target statement. That's going to come from the Scottish Net Zero and Energy Secretary Mari McCallan. Environmental campaigners have already criticised the plans to scrap that key climate change target. Indeed, Friends of the Earth Scotland branded it the worst environmental decision in the history of the Scottish Parliament. So, as I say, we will be live in Holyrood for that statement, which we are expecting around 2:25. But first, I want to take a look at some of the other day's news. And a Conservative MP has been suspended by the Parliamentary Party after claims he misused campaign funds. The Times newspaper alleges he used local party funds to pay off what he reportedly called bad people who had locked him in a flat. Mark Menzies strongly disputes the allegations. The Conservative Party was made aware of the allegations 3 months ago and says it's investigating. Our political correspondent Damien Grammaticus reports.
The honesty needs to stop now. The lack of clarity needs to stop.
Mark Menzies, this was him last week, urging transparency about the impact locally of a wind farm being built offshore. The allegation about his own behaviour, first reported by The Times, is that last December at 3 in the morning he called his former campaign manager and said bad people had locked him in a flat, adding he needed £5,000 as a matter of life or death. It's claimed campaign donations were later used to cover the payment, and also that he has received £14,000 to cover medical bills. The BBC hasn't been able to speak to him for a comment, but in a statement to The Times he said, "I strongly dispute the allegations put to me. I have fully complied with all the rules for declarations. As there is an investigation ongoing, I will not be commenting further." The Conservative Party was made aware of the allegations in January when the former campaign manager reported them. It is investigating and says the process is confidential. Mr Menzies was only suspended as a Conservative MP when The Times investigated the claims.
My understanding is that some further information came to light yesterday, whether that was through that story or another route, I don't know, which led to the suspension of the whip. But in fact, it has been being investigated.
Today's revelations.
Labour today called the claims extraordinary.
They raise some very serious questions about the misuse of funds and the pressure put on others to facilitate it. Perhaps more importantly, also how these issues are handled by the Conservative Party.
The Honourable Lady mentioned some very serious allegations and other incidents that came to light during the course of the recess. These are very serious matters.
Labour want to know how long ago senior Conservatives, including Rishi Sunak, knew about the case and whether the Conservatives have reported to police issues that could relate to potential criminality, the party says. Damien Grammaticus, BBC News, Westminster.